Hey guys, Ron here, and now that I have 300,000 subscribers, I believe it is time to draw my life. So I was born in Brooklyn, New York. I never acquired the New York accent though, considering both my parents are Israeli and we basically spoke Hebrew 100% of the time until I was old enough to go to school. My dad's a wedding photographer and owns his own studio in which my mom is the manager. When I was 4, my brother was born, and when I was almost 9, my sister was born. One reason I was hesitating to make a Draw My Life video was because, well, there wasn't much interesting drama at my home. We had a close, loving family and both my siblings share all my basic interests like video games and animation. At age 4, I started watching Pokemon after my mom bought a couple episodes of the first season on VHS. My neighbor had the N64, and by the time I was 6, my parents finally got me one along with Pokemon Stadium. I barely played it because my friend had it too, and we mostly played Stadium at his house, but it only grew my love for Pokemon. At age 7, I got a Game Boy Advance SP, and for a year, my brother watched me play Super Mario World on it, so he finally got one and eventually became a bigger gamer than I am. You see, even though it was at that point that I got Pokemon Ruby and then Emerald and became a huge fan of the anime, I wasn't much of a gamer like my brother. I was more of a fan of animation. At school, I was the artist, so it made sense for me to enjoy the medium. But it wasn't until I watched Avatar: The Last Airbender that I realized I wanted to become an animator. I would draw so much. I kinda created a new Fakemon every day. During class, all I did was draw. At first, my teachers were incredibly annoyed by it, but here's the thing, my grades were really good, and I guess they slowly realized that drawing in class was actually a way for me to not get bored during the lesson. I was able to listen to the teacher because drawing didn't take much concentration. In fact, drawing made me concentrate on the teacher even more since I wasn't bored out of my mind. Over time, I kinda grew to enjoy school. I really like learning, and I love showing people how much I know about certain things. Now understand, I went to a yeshiva, which is a Jewish school in which half of the day was dedicated to secular studies like math and science, while the other half was dedicated to Judaic and religious studies, and I actually enjoyed learning a lot about my religion and culture. That's why when it came time for high school, I also decided to go to yeshiva high school. But that meant that for 4 years, I had to wake up at 6 o'clock, take a bus to my school in New Jersey, get to school at 8, partake in morning prayers until 8:45, and then have classes until 5 o'clock. I would get home at 6:30 p.m. every day except Fridays. Most of you are probably thinking that I'm crazy for doing this, but here's the thing. I owned school. I won school. You see, I made it my goal to work my way up all the cool clubs in school. I became the head of the graphics department in the school newspaper and yearbook and became part of the Quiz Bowl team, which just means that I know a lot of random facts. I became student council secretary and then student council vice president, and I ran to become president but lost to the most popular girl in my grade. I was devastated at first, but it all worked out in the end because after being part of the video club at school for 3 years, I became its president. I was in charge of all video production at my school. I filmed everything. I even got to miss class to film things. I also learned a lot about filming and editing by running the school's YouTube channel, and it was at that time that I created my first Pokemon video, my top 10 favorite Pokemon video. It was just a one-off thing. Although I watched a lot of Pokemon videos, I wasn't considering becoming a Poketuber. The video didn't get a lot of views or anything, and I didn't expect it to. I just loved making videos. In school, I created tons of short films, sketches, and school news broadcasts which all the students looked forward to. In high school, I was the artist and video guy. Everybody knew my name, and I'm not exaggerating, there weren't that many students. It also helped that I was one of the only students that socialized with every clique and group. I was friends with the nerds and geeks because I was a nerd and geek. I was friends with the jocks because the jocks were also nerds and geeks. I was friends with the more popular kids, and I was friends with the outcasts and artists. One thing I noticed was that in high school, all the artists, like me, were the biggest Pokemon fans. And it also wasn't taboo to enjoy Pokemon in general. Everybody knew I loved Pokemon, Nintendo, films, and animation. And it only brought me closer to other people. Now, I'm not bragging, I just want you to know that you shouldn't be ashamed about what you find entertaining, because it'll only help you find friends. If it makes you feel better, one thing that I didn't excel at was actively socializing and talking, especially with the girls. I never had a girlfriend in high school, but that was mostly due to the fact that I lived in New York City and 90% of the students lived in New Jersey, 40 minutes away from where I live. Plus, there were almost twice as many guys in my grade than there were girls, so basically, all the girls I had crushes on were already taken. And I never practiced socializing with people because people just ended up talking to me. I didn't even want to sit down and just talk to people during lunch because I was like the busiest student at school. But I digress. In senior year, I finally applied to a few art schools. But instead of choosing to be a traditional 2D animator, I did end up deciding to pursue a career in computer animation or 3D animation. And I was accepted pretty early, in fact, to my first choice, the School of Visual Arts. During the summer before entering college, I decided to make more Pokemon videos on my channel. Again, not a lot of views, but I wasn't complaining. After creating my fourth video, Top 10 Cutest Pokemon, I decided to post it on Pokememes, and a few days later, it got to the front page. A lot of people were watching the video. I was at the Metropolitan Museum of Art with my friends when it was happening, and I kept on getting tons of notifications. This really boosted my confidence, and I decided to just message people, asking them to watch my content, and they responded positively. Now, I don't condone doing this until you're completely confident in the quality of your videos, but I did stop doing it once I hit 1,000 subscribers. And from then on, my channel grew steadily. My goal was to become the standard in quality Pokemon videos, and I wanted the entire community to step up its game in regards to audio and video, and they did. People subscribe to my channel for so many reasons: top 10s, fact videos, misconception videos, music-related content, sketches, and more. I really couldn't complain about the rate in which my channel was growing. It wasn't slow enough to lower my confidence, and it wasn't too fast, so I always strove to make each video better than the last. I really think that is the best way to have a channel grow. You gotta earn it, you know? And it always helps to make friends within the community, and I had tons of lovely interactions with fellow Poketubers. And considering I still read every comment, I recognize comments in recent videos from long-time subscribers and fans that like to be engaged. There are things to complain about as well, but the good always outweighs the bad. I made this video to celebrate 300,000 subscribers and told my life story as a way to get closer to my loyal subscribers. I hope it was successful in doing just that. If for some strange reason this is the first video of mine that you've watched, click on the right for some pretty good videos. And if you haven't, make sure to follow me on Facebook and Twitter to become part of the True Green gang. I'll see you guys very soon.